Hi guys, part 7. Enjoy!
Disclaimer: I do not own the haiku characters that are to be used in this story. Photos or covers were picked from Google. Credits to the owner.
I can feel that my throat started to swell. That is why it was harder to breathe. I was almost in my hotel room when I collapsed. I can't hold my body. No, I gasped as I also started to panic. No one's around. No, help, I wheezed. Shoyo. I heard someone call me, but I can't recognize it. My vision started to blur as I still gasped for air. Can't breathe. Make sure he doesn't fall asleep. I heard another voice that I wasn't able to recognize, too. The other person near me keeps tapping my cheek to make me respond. Hey, Shoyo, please stay awake. Try to breathe. Shit, I don't know what to do. Please, Shoyo, can you hear me? I can hear the panic in this person's voice. I'm tired. I want to sleep. My lungs were too exhausted trying to get some air. My throat was fully swollen now. Not again. Don't want to die. Tobio. I feel like something pricked me, and I heard. There. Please work. Please work. Oh, it's my medication for allergies. Is it Tadashi? I thought as I still tried to gasp some air. As my medication starts to kick in. Other people came by. I think it was the paramedics, but I can't give care. I'm too exhausted. When I reached the hospital, I immediately saw Kay. How is he? I asked. The doctor says he was already stable, but he needs to stay in the hospital for further tests just to make sure. Kenma-san is with him now, Kay answered. Okay, thank you. I walked towards one of the VIP rooms and saw Shoyo's name on the door. I knocked first, then I opened the door. I saw Kenma-san sitting on the couch. He greets me. Good evening, Mr. Kageyama. I walked towards Shoyo as I replied, good evening. There is still a little swelling in his eyelids and a few rashes. I slightly touched his forehead, removing a few strands of hair and kissing it. His temperature wasn't still normal. Kenma-san approaches us and also stares at Shoyo. He still has not woken up. The doctor said it is quite normal, especially since his body needs to rest due to the severe allergy and then the fever, he said. Why did this happen? I asked as I stared blankly. The crew forgot that Shoyo has an allergy, he said. I'm furious about their recklessness. You can file legal charges. I already mentioned it to them, and in fact, I also provided written information about Shoyo's allergy beforehand, he added. I took a deep breath and said, I'll take legal action. They almost killed Shoyo. Kenma-san nodded in agreement. We're enveloped by a comfortable silence as I occasionally squeezed Shoyo's hand. Kenma-san broke the silence. Since you're already here, I'll be going ahead. I nod. If he woke up, immediately call the doctor to proceed with the test, then if they give a go signal to go home. Just go, okay, he said, which made me a little confused. He hates hospitals. He's too uncomfortable with it. So if he can go home, just take him home, then call a private doctor just to keep monitoring him for at least 3 days to a week, he said. Okay, thank you, Kenma-san. Bye, he said as he waved. I waved back. As Kenma-san exited the room, Kay entered. Kay was quiet for a moment. So, Toruni visited you, he said, cutting the silence. I nod. What does he want? He asked. I shrugged. I don't know what's on Toru's mind earlier aside from shopping. Kay was silent. He suddenly shows himself in our house and then pulls me out for shopping. I was waiting for your updates when he took my phone, I said. Because your attention wasn't on him? He asked. I nodded. That's why I got pissed. Did he know you're already married? Last minute. I didn't give him any explanations, I said. We're about to continue our conversation when Shoyo starts to move. He groaned and slowly opened his eyes as he looked around his surroundings. When our eyes met, too, bio. Hey, I said as I pressed the nurse button. I started to regain my consciousness. I opened my eyes and instantly blinded by bright light. I groaned. I slowly opened my eyes and looked around. The walls are white. I could feel that something warm was holding my hand. I looked at that side and saw a blurry figure. I blinked slowly as my vision started to clear. 2. Bio. Hey. That's when I noticed the smell of rubber. I was wearing an oxygen mask. I tried to remove the oxygen mask, but Tobio immediately stopped me by holding my hand firmly. Hey, not yet. I know it's uncomfortable, but let's wait for the doctor, okay? I groaned again and closed my eyes. I want to go home. I can tell from his expression that he is still quite exhausted. He struggled to remove the oxygen mask. I immediately held Shoyo's hand firmly to stop what he was doing. Hey, not yet. I know it's uncomfortable, but let's wait for the doctor, okay? He groaned again as he closed his eyes. A few tears flow from his eyes, and I wipe it off. The door opened as the doctor came in. Did he already awake? The doctor asked. Shoyo slowly opens his eyes and stares at the doctor. Hello there, Mr. Shoyo. How are you feeling? He groggily pointed at the mask and said, remove. You want to remove? The doctor asked. And Shoyo nodded. The doctor removes the mask and says, there. Better. He nodded. Just wear it again if you have to, okay. Now, look here, as the doctor made some few tests. Do you remember what happened? I accidentally ate a shrimp dumpling during our taping. I already had a fever before that, Shoyo said as he coughed. I handed him bottled water. Take slow and small sips. He sipped some water and continued, I collapsed near my hotel room. Can't remember after that. Okay, good. We will make a few tests more before I give you a discharge slip, okay? The doctor said, how long? I want to go home. I answered instead, long enough that you will never notice we're back home. I kissed his temple. The doctor nods and looks in my direction. We will start right away. Thank you. Shoyo starts to have a little tantrum. Home. Sho, calm down. We will go home, okay? Tears start to fall uncontrollably from his eyes. I climb into the bed and start to cuddle him. Shish. It's okay, Shoyo. After the tests, we will go home, okay? Relax. Don't stress yourself more. We don't want your fever to act up again, I said as I comforted him. Tobio, want to G, home, he slurred as he snuggled at my chest and sobbed. I tightened the hug and said, we're going home. Don't worry. A few minutes pass, and his breath starts to even. He fell asleep. I'm heading back. I'll just visit you tomorrow if you're already home, Kay whispered. I nodded. Be careful. Kay left the room. A few minutes passed again, and the doctor, accompanied by a nurse, came in. Mr. Kageyama, we will start the test, the doctor said. I nodded and started to move, which made Shoyo startled and grip the fabric of my shirt. Shish, it's okay. I just need to move out a little. The doctor is here to start the tests, and then we will go home, okay? I said, calming him. He exhaled and let go of my shirt. While they were doing the test, I sent a text message to Kyoko-san to ask our family doctor to pay a visit to my house tomorrow to check Shoyo. A few hours passed by, and the doctor finished the tests and read the results. Shoyo still has a slight fever, but I was able to bribe them into giving him the discharge form. I signed the form, and they gave me some oral medication, and then we went home. When we arrived, he was asleep again. I carried him out of the car into my bedroom. I laid him there. I will not let him sleep alone in his bed tonight. Well, starting today, we will share a bed, I thought. Shoyo hummed confusingly as he started to wake up. We're home, dear, I said as I kissed his forehead. He snuggled at the pillow and inhaled. I changed my clothes to something comfortable. Shoyo was already wearing a comfortable one, so I didn't bother to get him spare clothing. I get in the bed and cuddle him. I kissed the top of Shoyo's head and said, good night, Sho. Good night, he replied as he snuggled at my chest.
To be continued. If you like this video, consider subscribing by clicking the subscribe button. Bye!